Welcome to Life, Lessons, and Laughter with your host, Glenn Ambrose.
Welcome to the show. We are on.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. 2016 is going to rock it.
Yeah, it already feels different.
Yeah, no.
What did Gladys say about 2016 two episodes ago?
She said that 2016 was going to be something about it. It was going to be a good year. Like we're going to be doing.
I think it was because 2015 was the year of small steps.
Yes.
And 2016's where those pay off.
Yeah, it was like 2015 was the ramp up, and now you're going to hit your stride.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think
she's right.
I think she's right too.
I saw that in 2015 because I mean, I'd been talking to Gladys regularly, and over the years, and usually at the end of the year, we'll kind of touch base and talk over the previous year, and then the next year to see patterns that she's seen with her clients and what I've seen with my clients and stuff. And we always see it like slightly differently, but when we discuss it, we're on the same page. And 2015, it seemed like it was going to be a really good year, and it was, but it wasn't good in the way that I thought. I thought it was going to be just a real big explosion of everything wonderful.
It wasn't the explosion. It was little baby steps in the right direction.
Right,
yeah.
and it was we a lot of people accomplished a lot of things and really did a lot of work that wasn't necessarily easy, but it was very productive and gotten themselves in better places. And yeah, I think 2016 is going to be the payoff of that.
November 2016, baby.
What's that?
It's Trump.
It's when it's Heil Trump time.
Oh yeah, that's when our whole world is going to change.
Yeah, that's when I'm going to move to another country.
Maybe. Anyway, let's stop being political.
Let's talk about the election for the next half hour.
Oh my
Let's talk
God,
about the election.
No. I
for
will
the
not
next
do it.
24
left.
episodes.
Glenn's out.
See ya. Drop the mic.
Life
Let's
Lessons
change
and
it.
Laughter is now a political talk show.
Let's just change it to life lessons in politics.
Yes.
Oh my God, I couldn't do it. I seriously.
You couldn't even do it for like 2 minutes.
No, just like the last 15 seconds, all the energy is drained out of my body.
All right, 2016.
But Dave, you kind of came to that realization yourself a little bit, didn't you? At the end of 2015, weren't you starting to feel like you had done little improvements all year?
I think I picked 2015 to finally make the slightest bit of changes that I need to have made for the past 10 years of my life. Yeah, I've made very, very small changes.
That's awesome.
And
though.
apparently that's supposed to be a win.
It is.
Whatever.
Hey, if
Any
you
step
don't
in the right
recognize the
direction
win, then you're not gonna. You're gonna
But
get down
there's
to
so
yourself
much
and
to
you're
be
gonna quit.
done. There's so much to be done that it just doesn't seem to matter.
If
Yeah.
there wasn't stuff to be done, wouldn't that be boring?
Yeah, we never get it all done. That's the point. We're not supposed to get it all done. The piece doesn't look like, okay, I finished everything and now I'm just going to sit on the couch and do nothing for the next 30 years. Like, that's boring.
That would be fun, though.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, that's my goal in life.
Well, that's a lot of people think that, you know. But I mean, it's unrealistic, It's never going to happen. So
Even if it did, it would probably get boring, even if you don't think it would.
oh, absolutely, it would. I mean,
You feel a little unfulfilled.
yeah, just a
your day-to-day.
smidgen. Nobody can feel good about themselves just sitting around doing nothing. I mean, and that doesn't mean that we don't need vacations and recoup
Right.
time. I mean, we absolutely do need downtime. But I mean, doing nothing with your life, I mean, it just
I find
it
that
goes
my
against our nature.
I find that my anxiety flares up when I have nothing to do. A lot.
Yeah, too much. It's like too much stimuli in not enough.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't quite know what to do. So your mind will start searching for things to do and start bouncing in different areas and thinking about all kinds of weird stuff. And then all of a sudden, it's like that anxiety comes up.
I feel like the only time I don't have anxiety is when no one asks anything of me, and I have nothing to do. The minute someone asks something of me, I become very anxious.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just where you are right now. Which,
All right, fine.
Which that happens too. I mean, it's just because you kind of created a safe space for yourself.
Yeah.
Where doing nothing, there's no risk to it, so you can just so then if you have to go do something, that anxiety comes up because it's like, oh no, well, who am I going to be if I actually take this action?
It's true. There is no risk in doing nothing. You know exactly what you're going to get.
Right. And even if you don't like it, at least you know what it is.
And that's comforting.
Yeah.
It's comforting.
It is comforting.
To sit in your own...
No.
Oh, my God.
We're not doing this.
I thought of it, too. Sit in your own poop.
It's warm.
The only...
It stinks, but it's yours.
It's comfortable.
Go back to one of the first 20 episodes and find where that was. That was the only time we have ever had to stop the show in the middle of recording.
Because we're laughing so
you got
hard.
so into that metaphor.
Oh, my God. Well, I just told the metaphor. You guys had never heard it before, so you lost it.
No, you described, you were like, it's warm and it feels good and it's yours.
Like, what?
See, there he goes again. But then he blames it on me, like I got too into it. Yeah, the problem is you laughed too hard at it.
So today...
So 2016 is going to be what it's going to be. And and at the end of 2016, we're going to go, it wasn't what I thought it was, but it was pretty good.
Well, it's never going to be what you think it is.
No.
It's never going to be ideally what you thought it was.
Well, it can be better than we think.
Oh.
Heck yeah. That's, going back to Gladys one more time, it's what, she always says, I want more of this or something even better, which I like because I say that fairly often as well, and it leaves it open for something even better. It expands your mind. It's like the 6 impossible things before breakfast.
Yeah. There are recent things that happened towards the end of 2015 that seemed bad, but I think are pushing us and forcing us to do better things, which is good, I think.
Yeah, well,
Dave and I have talked many times about how we're not going to do anything until we have no other option than to do it.
Okay.
We're not gonna.
You guys need to listen to my podcast a little more. Holy crap!
It's like
I'm not a fan.
It's like there's empty snow in front of us.
Oh, man.
Go back and look at that episode.
Well, yeah, depending on, how you're looking at things that's what's going to determine it, And I mean, if we pay attention to the little signs, and even if you do one little thing right, there's a little positive feedback that comes because basically the universe is trying to bait you into doing more good. So it has to give you positive reinforcement. Otherwise, you're going to have no, inspiration to do anything more good. So you feel a little bit better. But a lot of times what happens is people will feel a little bit better because they did a little bit good. And then they'll be like, well, no, I'm stopping there. Like, no, I don't. That's enough.
Oh, yeah. I thought about that the other day, actually.
Yeah. Because it's, you're getting the positive reinforcement. Your life's getting better because you're doing positive things. But then, the old you comes up and goes, oh, well, wait a minute, Dave. How long could this last? And, then you just rain on the parade.
or it's like I finally accomplished one thing. And I'm like, that feels great. I'm going to ride that feeling for the next 6 months before I do something else.
Until it fizzles out and there's nothing left of it.
Until there's been so much time that's passed that I have to do something else now.
Yeah.
One other thing.
But you can actually walk through life doing something, getting positive reinforcement, doing something, getting positive reinforcement. And that's, it's the pain pushes us until the pleasure pulls us. So if you, ooh, good one.
I like that one.
If you
Have
use,
you never heard him say that before?
I don't listen a lot. I'm just kind of listening to the levels.
good point.
Sorry about that.
So you do need to listen to my podcast more
Yeah,
often.
I do.
Episode 52 or something.
So if you live your life by pain pushing you all the time, then you're going to experience a lot of pain. But if you live your life by pain pushing you until you start feeling the pleasure and then having the pleasure pull you forward, it's a lot more comfortable ride. That's how I like to learn all my lessons now. That's why I try to be so conscious in my life. And when I'm not feeling right, when I'm feeling off, I really start looking around and going, what's wrong? And what do I need to do to get back on track? Because I really don't like feeling pain. I hate feeling pain. So if I can figure out why I'm off and make the adjustment then the pain ends and it stayed minimal. But if I allow myself to sit in it, then, the universe starts dropping a rock on my head. Let's inflict a little bit more pain. He's not going inside deep enough. He's not getting the message. He's not seeing what he needs to see. We need to grab his attention a little more,
Yeah.
And since I'm not doing anything pleasurable, they can't let the pleasure pull me. So they have to kick me in the butt with the pain. So that's, I don't like, I've experienced enough pain in my life. I'm allergic to pain.
There was we were watching The Walking Dead a couple weeks ago, and
that's healthy.
There's a saying that this lady writes in Latin on the edge of all of her stuff. What did it mean, Dave?
Crap. I think it's just someday this pain will be useful to you.
Yeah. That's it, and that's when the difficulties in our lives turn to good, when they become useful. For 20 years I lived destructively, and while I was living it, it was destructive. Period.
Right.
Now, when I changed, and then I started using my past to help others, then all of a sudden it became from destructive to instructive. I became able
constructive,
to
right?
Constructive would be better, right? I was going to keep going with instructive.
But you are instructive.
Because I instruct
others.
people, so I was going to make that work, even though it was the wrong word. But thank you for constructive. That's much better.
Yeah.
So it became constructive, but it didn't change. The past didn't change. My experiences didn't change. I changed. So
Which made that very useful to you.
Right.
Your past became very useful to you to help others.
Oh my God, yeah. It's other than just being in stillness and, feeling that connection and having information given to me from what I call the universe or the divine or God or whatever. Other than that, on this earth plane, that is the most valuable thing that I've had, is my experiences. Because I have the ability to connect to a lot of different people in a lot of different situations and help them through a lot of different things because of all the different things I experienced. So it's a huge asset to me. Huge. But that's just, it's not because there's anything special about me. It's not because, my crappy, difficult life was different than anybody else's crappy, difficult life. It was just my perspectives changed, So when I changed my perspectives, it turned all the bad to good.
Do you think that that's something that is just pain is so important. It's because it's natural and it's going to happen, and it's different than suffering.
Yes.
You know, it's different than
It's
anger.
contrast. Pain is contrast.
Yeah. Pain has to happen. Suffering doesn't have to happen.
Right.
So it's the perspective of looking at this pain as, this is a good thing. This will help me.
Yeah, suffering.
There's a reason for this.
Exactly. And just so we clarify the difference, suffering is resistance to what is. It's resisting something that's going on. That's what causes suffering. If you accept that it actually happened, then your suffering is going to end. So
you
that's
have to feel pain.
Pain.
Choose to feel suffering.
Right. And the pain that we have to feel, we do have to feel pain, but like in my life, I don't feel that much pain because I've just gotten better at paying attention when I don't feel right. Like I don't feel deep pain because I pay attention to the signs and the lessons that are trying to be taught to me when I'm feeling uncomfortable. So, a lot of people make the mistake that they'll look at me and they go, "Oh, Glenn, you're so strong." Like, "Oh, you must be so strong to live the way you live." And it's like, no, it's the opposite. I have a low tolerance for pain. I'm very weak. Yeah. I don't do well in pain. I don't like it. It just, some people can just live in pain for year after year after year. And I mean, I did too for 20 years. But once I changed, I was like, I don't want to live like that again. I don't want to go there again. So I need to learn my lessons quick. So I view when I feel pain, it's minimal and it's more, I view it as contrast. So it's like basically my thoughts, my perspectives are kind of going, I kind of liken it with my clients. I liken it to one of those bowling alleys with the bumpers, when they put the bumpers down so you can't get a gutter ball. That's like the universe's way. So like when your ball hits the bumper, that's the pain. It's going, hey, you're going too far to the left. You need to get back into the center of the lane. And then you go too far over to the right. Well, it hits that bumper and you experience some pain. You experience some contrast and it goes, no, you shouldn't go this way. This is not good for you. Get back to the center lane. It's our guidance system to keep us heading in the direction that we want to go.
I think this is the most important, or at least like 1A, of the most important things that we can talk about is recognizing that pain is not bad.
Right.
And that it's how you look at it, and that it's helpful, and that.
Yeah, and when you're in it, it's the same thing as when you're through it. When you're in it, if you look and you just, instead of suppressing it and pushing it down or trying to fix it and do something to get out of it, if we just stop for a moment when we're in it and go, okay, I feel pain. This is uncomfortable. It's just a sensation. It's not going to hurt me. It's not going to physically kill me. I just sit in it for a moment and go, what's the lesson here? What do I need to adjust to get back on track? What do I need to learn in this situation for me to get out of it? Because as soon as you learn the lesson, you're going to come out of the pain, So but you need to learn that lesson. And sometimes we can see it ourselves. Sometimes there's somebody in our lives that we can talk to. And sometimes you just plain need a life coach, or a therapist or something. A lot of times I see this with friends a lot of times. Well, friends and family. A lot of times when somebody's in pain and they go to a friend or family member and they go, oh, I'm in pain. They go, yes, poor you poor thing. I can't believe that they did that to you, or that this is happening to you, and it shouldn't be, and you're right to be suffering, and all this stuff. And it's because they're trying to make them feel like they're okay. It's done out of kindness, but that's not going to help anybody. So a lot of times, like, my friends, they get used to me when they come to me and they go, I'm suffering. Well, let's look for the lesson in it so you can get out of it. I can't feel like a good friend when somebody comes to me with a problem and I go, yeah, you've done everything right and your perspectives are 100% right and there's nothing wrong with you. It's the poor world that's beating you down. You poor thing. Let me hold you. Like, I don't think that is a loving act from me to them. So as a friend, I try to, show them different ways, and some people don't want to hear it. So, which is fine.
I don't know anybody like that.
There's sometimes you just need to listen to. I mean, I think that's really important. I mean, especially as men have a larger tendency to try to fix everybody else.
Oh, I have a huge tendency to try to fix everybody else.
And I mean, I do too, not only as a man, not only as my personality, but also as a life coach. It's like sometimes I tell people often, that I'm in a relationship with, if you need me to listen, tell me, because that's not my default. I don't go there automatically. If you want me to shut up and not fix anything, you just need me to listen and hold you, please tell me and I will give that to you. Because sometimes we do just need that.
I need someone constantly to point out the things that I need to fix, because I'm constantly looking at other people. I'm bad at taking care of myself.
Yeah.
So that's horrible. Luckily, I have a life coach, and I have a best friend that likes to yell at me when I do stupid stuff, which is every day. So it's good to God knows what I would be doing without that.
Yeah. We all need it. I need it too. I called up somebody Sunday because I was just feeling off and I couldn't figure it out myself. I tried, and after a few days, I'm like, okay, usually I can get through it in a day or two. And then it was a few days and I'm like, okay, now this is a little bit long, but I felt something really good was going to come out of it. So I just kind of stayed in it. And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to feel a little uncomfortable, a little longer than usual. It's a big shift that's happening in me or something. And then after a few days, I wasn't getting the message, and the pain increased. And then I got really uncomfortable in my own skin. I was like, oh my God, what is this? And I was like, okay, I need to reach outside of myself and get a different perspective. Unfortunately, I have certain people in my life that I can do that with. I like to think that I live pretty consciously, so it doesn't happen that often, but there's probably at least 2-3 times a year where there's something that I'm supposed to be getting that I'm not getting, and I need to talk it out with somebody. And I mean, well, actually probably more than that, because I work with a life coach on a regular basis too. So, but yeah, maybe a couple times a year besides the life coach that all of a sudden I'm like, hey, wait a minute, I'm not getting the lesson in this. I don't see it, because my emotion clouds my own perceptions at times, because it's my stuff. It's easier to help other people for me.
Yeah.
But
what I realized earlier, this is our 50th episode.
Wow. That's like 149.
Yeah. So this is our 50th episode, and
that couldn't have been less exciting.
For
oh wow, 50, huh?
One more than 49.
That's cool.
Wicked good. That's like half of 100.
So
that was like my Eeyore impression.
So yeah, this is 50, which means we're coming up on the end of year 2.
Wow.
Year
2.
Crazy.
So
50 more, it'll be 100.
This past year. So this past year we had our first outside interview between the first time anybody other than two of the three of us were on the show with Gladys.
Yes.
Should we expect to see more of that in 2016?
Yeah, I'd like to have an occasional guest on. That was fun. I'd like to do that. An occasional guest, and I just thought of another one. Somebody posted this this is definitely going to sound ridiculous. I want to have a podcast on the Tao of Pooh.
Oh, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody wrote a book about the Tao through Winnie the Pooh's eyes, and somebody posted a quote on Facebook the other day that was awesome. And so I went on and I looked at some different quotes and stuff, and I ordered the book because I didn't actually have the book. Somebody lent it to me at one point, but then I must have given it back or something. So I ordered the book, and I'd like to do a podcast on some of the quotes out of that book.
Oh, bother.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I don't remember a lot of things about Winnie the Pooh. I was really into it for a little while when I was a kid, but...
Yeah, me too. I don't remember that much. But it's just... I was little, though.
Is Winnie a guy's name? A girl's name, I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Usually.
That's strange. His name's Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah,
what is the Pooh?
There's got to be a whole story behind that. I don't know.
He's a stuffed bear.
That's true.
He's a Pooh Bear.
Well,
I know, but I don't know what that means. Okay.
I don't know. Pooh just sounds cute, I guess.
Does it?
when it's preluded by Winnie it is.
There was a question about a children's book at trivia a couple weeks ago, and the answer was the answer was, what's the name of that bear? Not the Bernstein
Winnie
Bears,
the Pooh.
The other bear. The
Smokey the
Paddington Bear. The answer was Paddington Bear. Who was the author of this? This guy was the author of what? It was Paddington Bear. So I used Elvis, Let Me Be Your Teddy Bear, or whatever it is. And I didn't even realize that Winnie the Pooh was a bear when I was making the play. I was like, Paddington Bear. Bear's the only option. I'm going to give the hint of bear. So, like, everybody answered Winnie the Pooh. I'm like, oh, right, Winnie the Pooh's a bear. I completely forgot. That's how little I know anymore about Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I don't know too much either. I just like the book. It's a neat twist. It's simplistic,
Except for that, I'm basically Piglet, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's not talk too much about it because we're going to do a podcast on it.
That's true. So we should probably all get more familiar with Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Now we're singing it. We have to sing it on the episode.
Right.
That was just a little. That was
We're
a little
foreshadowing. This is
taste.
things that are upcoming in 2016.
Get excited. This is where we're going.
So, ironically, this episode was supposed to be about something completely
different.
But I know what it ended up being about, which is perspective. And pain pushes us until pleasure pulls us.
Yeah.
Perspective plus time
equals money. I hope.
Profit.
Wow.
What was it?
I don't. What are you guys talking about?
I thought that's a saying.
Perspective plus time. I don't know.
I'm looking that up.
Okay.
All right. While he looks that up, Glenn, where can people get a hold of you?
Well, it depends on that perspective. No. They can get in touch with me at life-enhancement-services.com. That's the best place. But yeah, it's the pain will push us as long as we need to, Just if you want to minimize the pain, start looking for the lesson. And if you can't see it, reach out to somebody, get some help. Did you get it?
Yeah, I know what it was.
What is it?
It's tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Oh my God.
I knew that.
Whoops. Equals perspective?
I mean, that is a change. Oh, no. That
Tragedy
works.
plus
That is a
time
change
equals
of
comedy.
tragedy plus time equals comedy is is
Using the
perspective.
It's a shift of
It
perspective.
is perspective. It is
Yeah.
using the pain for
So-
something else.
Yeah, there you go.
But the thing is it's
Man,
not
you backed into that.
it's not necessarily time though. It's like it can be time.
Right.
It just depends on when we learn the lesson. You know, some people are still in pain over things that happened 20 years ago.
Yes, I
Some
am.
people get over it in a month. So it just depends on when you learn the lesson and, you know, shift your perspective on that particular subject. So there. So let some pleasure pull you in 2016 instead of the pain pushing you. All right?
All right.
All right.
Cool. I'm glad we're all on the same page with that.
All right, cool.
All right, good.
All right,
I'll do it. I'll
Happy
do my
50th
best.
episode.
And a super 2016 to y'all.
Bye.
Bye.